The local family members of a woman killed by a gun-toting veteran are in disbelief tonight. Her death came during a shooting rampage at an apartment complex in Indy in May of last year. The veteran, who was a tenant there, ultimately killed himself and was buried with full honors in a national cemetery, and officials say they won't overturn that decision. News Channel 15's Megan Royst has more tonight from Studio 15.
The Kale family says officials at Fort Custer National Cemetery in Michigan gave killer Michael LaShawn Anderson the rubber stamp of approval to be buried there before uncovering he killed a woman, injured others, and then took his own life. Something they say is hard to bear after losing a loved one and a disgrace to honorable servicemen and women.
We were just aghast. I mean, just like somebody slapped us in the face.
As if the pain of losing Alicia Kale wasn't difficult enough, her father-in-law, Frank Kale, who lives in Fort Wayne, says the news a week ago that officials wouldn't remove the killer's remains from a national cemetery added insult to injury. Police say Anderson shot Alicia 13 times at an Indianapolis apartment complex. She was a leasing agent there.
Police said that apparently she did everything right to try to pacify the situation. She even offered him her purse, and he shot right through it.
Frank says his son Paul and Alicia had been married almost 16 years and have 2 children. He describes his daughter-in-law as a selfless, compassionate woman who's deeply missed by her husband.
As difficult as it is, he is making progress one step at a time to learn to be a single parent. And with 2 very active kids, it's a challenge.
The Kale family isn't losing hope in their fight to have Anderson's remains removed from the National Cemetery. They're working alongside Senator Dan Coats to change legislation.
We want to make sure, if at all possible, that this really doesn't happen again to somebody else.
Senator Coats said, quote, "The victims and family members of this tragic shooting have suffered enough and deserve a resolution to this matter. I'm working on legislation that will give the VA the authority it says it needs to fix this mistake and help provide the Kale family with a sense of peace and closure."
If passed, the new legislation would require the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs to do a background check, confirm cause of death, as well as allow the VA to reverse decisions and dissenter remains. You can check it out for yourself by going to Wayne.com. In Studio 15, Megan Royst, News Channel 15.